Okay, let's start some games.
8.
Okay, get you up, get you all nice and big. There we go. Okay, so we finished the last one. You'd sort of taken the baby to the thing. Werner's gone off and he's the world. We don't know where he is. You haven't looked for him. And then we sort of discussed a little bit about your downtime, didn't we? About what you were doing. So one of the things I missed in the downtime actually was that one of the options you can do in your endeavors is income, which is basically go and do your job. And I missed that in the thing. It doesn't really matter because you get one per week, and we only did 2, so I'll just extend it by like a week basically.
Okay.
So presume for this downtime, we'll presume that you all went and did your income downtime thing. And we'll presume that it worked for this because you have to roll for it. But we'll just assume that it worked for this one, and then going forwards, we'll do it properly. So we just need to work out what you did during your downtime. So what you actually did to make money. It should be based around your career because this is where you actually do your job, rather than being an adventurer. So I'm going to start with rolled Tom because you're top of my screen.
Okay, so I guess over the past however long we've been not doing stuff.
It's going to
be doing some hardcore rabble rousing.
It's good. Yeah, so there's been 3 weeks. So the game is going to the game is going to start 3 weeks into 3 weeks after we left it, basically.
Okay, great. So I guess during that time, I've been training a little bit, so sort of developing skills and talents as we kind of rolled up at the end of the last game. But I think a lot of my career-wise work has been involved in, I guess, hiring myself out as kind of member of militia, kind of riding out with caravans, travellers from the town, just maybe a half a day's ride out from the town. So kind of getting an idea for the lay of the land, exploring some of the routes sort of out from this city into the local area, but never venturing that far. So not actually acting as a full-on escort anywhere. So kind of riding about a bit, I guess.
Cool, sounds good. Bert, what about you?
Probably not too dissimilar. Spending a lot of time just odd jobs of like guarding and stuff like that. I imagine there's probably not loads of work though. We're still in that river Fishtown.
No.
Fishtown.
Yeah, you're in Ayleswald, yeah, which is the one that is the river town, yeah. I mean, most towns of the Empire are river towns, but this is the one that specifically is built over a river.
Oh, yeah, it's got like warehouses built over it, isn't it, and stuff.
Yeah,
it's Bog Town, not lots of Fish Town.
Yeah, Bog Town. Yeah, it's all on stilts, and it's all odd, and it's
Stiltopia.
Stiltopia. I think it's called Stiltopia. Let me just check my notes.
I've learned to use stilts.
Cool. So
stuff. Probably not loads of work.
The thing with training as well, Tom, you mentioned about like training a thing. What we'll do, we kind of like assume that some of the stuff you do during the uptime is like part of your developing your skills and stuff. So it's not like I have 3 weeks and I do all my training those 3 weeks, I think.
That's right.
So just with Roald and Bert then, some of the work you actually get is you get hired by Lord Aldebert von Wallenstein.
Okay, we do.
Aldebert von Wallenstein, and he is actually the uncle of the Graf of the town. He's an old knight basically. He's like 60, but he's still a great big guy. And they call him the Goblin Bane. He spends most of his day, but like it's easily known that he spends most of his days rooting out goblins around the forest basically to east of the town. So I think over that time, if you want to, you would have been hired by him to go and just deal on what is a fairly routine patrol.
Sounds good.
There's like a little war band of goblins or whatever. One of the things you do note when you actually go out and fight the goblins, though, when you come across them, they are basically the reason you get to ambush them is because they've themselves have just like taken someone down. But then when you find the body, it's actually a mutant body. So it is a human, and they have clawed hands. They don't actually look massively mutated other than that. but they are very clearly what the Empire would call a mutant and would burn. And they are picking over the very small amount of goods that it has, basically.
Okay.
They've obviously ambushed it on its own. It is near to the river, though. They ambush it near to the river, and that's it. So that's what you had. That's your if you want to go and do that, that's your downtime. Helmet, Mark.
So I'm probably actually going to be doing a little bit of thief taking and stuff like that. I'm going to be asking for contracts from people that are non-affiliated with big gangs, using the excuse that I'm an independent thief taker and don't want to sort of antagonise any of the bigger crime groups. And yeah, I'll see sort of what contracts are there. I've got quite a decent outdoor survival, so I'm happy to take ones for people that have fled this town.
Yeah, okay. So you actually get one from there doesn't appear to be any ones for like major criminals around. The guards would sort of deal with that. The stuff you get hired for is like people that have stolen stuff. Yeah. You do actually get a couple of jobs. One is to recover some money that's just been stolen by like a sort of known thief in the area, like basically like a local known thief. Yeah. And the guards are just like don't want to deal with it. So you get to that, and that's for like it could be from some sort of shop owner of your, make up some sort of shop owner you want. That could be up to you, and you return it to him, and he pays you basically, so you get your wage for that. Cool. You do get another one though, for someone called, let's call them Wilhelm Becker.
It's a strong name.
Good name, isn't it? Good Reichland name.
Yep.
Wilhelm Becker has actually stolen something from a jeweler, and has fled the town. As far as anyone can know, he's fled the town.
Yeah.
So he is. That is something. That is like a contract that you have if you want.
Cool.
Yep. If you want to have that as like your short-term goal to find this guy.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Might be quite a good one to have for that for now.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, other than that, you get your money, so you get your income, which I think is 1d10 silver. Tom, and you get your basic income as well to start in for the next adventure.
Is that where we get the income for our careers from, basically? Yeah.
So if you do the income endeavor, the downtime, then you roll a check, and then you get if you pass, you get your money. If you don't get your money.
Okay. If not, you're broke. Okay.
But we're not going to roll it for this turn. We're just going to assume you've done it. Yep. So on to Nehemiah. What is your ink? So we know you did your descent ones for the downtime.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of how I start making my income of fortune telling. Like I kind of begin with blend it in. So I start doing some free ones and using that to sow descent and that sort of stuff, and kind of getting to know kind of like the poorer populace type thing. And then I start kind of choosing marks, I think. So I'm particularly like after servants of other people and that sort of thing, to eventually get into later down the line of being able to read rich ladies, fortunes and that sort of stuff, and slowly start working my way out is the plan.
Oh, yep. So you people are happy to pay you some coin. It's not very expensive. You're only making a few brass, I think, or one.
Yeah, I make bottle.
Yeah, you make hardly. So it's not hard to do that. What you do realise is, from the time you spend speaking to people, is that the town is actually run by a council of burgomeisters.
Okay.
Burgomeisters rather than burgermeisters. So which is. Although there is a ruling Graf who is Ferdinand von Wallenstein, he basically leaves the running of the town to those, and he actually spends quite a lot of his time in Altdorf and Nuln, which is the capital and another large city.
Okay.
And he's actually not been in the town for quite a while. So that's just something you get from that.
The Graf doesn't graft.
He does not graft at all. No, his uncle goes out and smashes up goblins, and he pretty much leaves the running of the town to the burgomeisters.
So the 60-year-old, is he like a 60-year-old Sean Connery 60-year-old, or is he like?
I think he's like he may be a little bit like Druss.
No, okay.
I think he's a Drusk, or maybe he might be a Drusk kind of character, or he could also be a who's Sergeant Zim in Starship Troopers.
Clancy
Brown.
Brown.
Yeah, I think he's like a Clancy Brown. I think he's like a 6-year-old. He's like Clancy Brown now. He just goes he goes out, just gets the job done.
Okay.
He has no because he's the older sibling. He's the uncle. He should really be the ruler of the town, but he doesn't have any interest in it at all. And that's not a hidden secret. Everyone in the town knows that, basically. You do also have a fairly interesting dream the night before the game starts, basically, and which I will read out to you when I find it. I've breathed in some water and I swear it's gone straight into my lung. Yeah. So in the dream you have, you're actually heading along on a caravan. And it's a caravan that you've been on many times. It's probably one that you and your family have been on. The sun's nice and warm on your face, and you feel really calm, really chill.
Okay.
And in the road ahead of you, you see a hammer that's embedded in the ground, like it's smashed into the ground. And sitting on top of it is a white bird that's just pecking at the haft of the hammer. And it looks at the caravan, looks at you curiously. As it looks at you, you notice that it's got human eyes. And it cocks its head, and its beak opens, far, far too wide, and sort of peels back across its face, and a wave of ebony feathers fly out from its mouth towards you. They don't hit you, however. Before they strike you, they form a symbol in the air, which you don't recognize it at all. You've never seen it before, but looking upon it is incredibly painful for you, and it blinds you. But at the same time, you feel something stir inside you. As your vision starts to come back, you see they explode into ash and just fall down, and every flake of ash that hits you is absolute agony, basically. You see the bird that's perched on the hammer, its skin, where it's peeled back, starts to run like wax, and it just strikes the floor and burrows into the ground as if it was alive. But where it hits the hammer, it sizzles and it burns away in a silver flame. As you reach out, stumble to try and get yourself to your feet, you notice that everything is gone. You're entirely alone, and ash is rising in plumes around you. And you hear a mocking laughter that just gets louder and louder, and sounds sort of like a bird, like a man, something laughing, cawing. And you look down and see there is a feather embedded in your chest, but you can't work out what color it is. You don't know if it's black or if it's white, or if in fact it's all colors at once. You can't focus on it. And then you hear mocking laughter, and you wake up.
I check, is there a feather in my chest?
There is not a feather in your chest in real life.
But no, it's good to check. And then if I can, I scribble down the sigil before I forget it.
You can't remember it.
Can't remember it.
Yeah, it's you get a rough idea, but it looks like a squiggle. Like it's if someone's just done like a squiggle down the line. That's all you can remember. It's not something you've seen before, but potentially if you saw it again, you might recognize it.
Okay.
It's the sort of thing that if you saw it, you couldn't describe it to someone, but if you saw it, you'd be like, oh yeah, that was that.
Oh, I saw that in a dream. Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of thing, basically. Cool. So unless there's anything else in particular anyone wanted to have done during the downtime, any particular...
No, I just do some sexy panting in bed, like on TV when a medium wakes up, like that. Yeah, like that.
Yeah, just there's a bit of sweat.
Yeah.
Feels shiny.
Right between my pecs, that sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, fair. Does the camera zoom in on the pecs to check if the feather's there, but it's not, but it stays a little bit too long? Yeah, fair. Yeah. Fair. Okay, so... The night you actually, that before you go to bed, that day before, you all receive, I'm assuming you're all staying in like the inns and stuff that are around.
Yeah, right back.
You're cool.
I've got a Lilo.
You got a Lilo who just chills on his Lilo.
Just ties himself to a post and just fucking lives on a lilo.
Right.
Just floats along. Ah.
It's good when
Wake up,
the
there's a little
tide comes
frog
in,
on his chest.
the levels go up. It's good because I can get to the shops without getting out of bed.
That is, I mean, do you know what? I think Bert could do well here.
Not had dinner yet, so I was just taking out the oven. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
I'm back.
So wherever you've decided to stay, presumably it's the same inn, but it doesn't have to be.
I'm going to leave them alone.
Yeah, if you're all in the same inn, then you receive a letter basically for your party, which is from Cocker Lowhaven, requesting that he requests your attendance at his he calls his office, which you know is just a crate nailed to the side of
him, good old Cocker.
nailed to the side of a warehouse.
With the hot guard.
With the hot guard. Your hot guard.
Give her a 9.
And he requests your attendance tomorrow. So the day after. You know what tomorrow is. I haven't got to explain that. I almost did though. As if you just Games Master, describe to us what tomorrow is.
What really is it tomorrow?
You feel a sense of foreboding for what is tomorrow? Is it the day after the now? Yeah, so you request your attendance tomorrow, basically. And that is where we will start. You receive your letter, and presumably you wait until the next morning.
Breakfast.
Yep. Have your waffles.
How much money are you supposed to get?
Are you a?
I was just trying to find that in the book how much money I meant to get. Actually,
I think
I don't know how much money I spent.
Well, yeah. So you lose your money basically. Oh yeah, that's the last thing. What did you all spend your money on? Because any money you had at the end of the last one is just gone. You've done something with it.
Is it?
Yeah, that's why you always start.
Oh, right, okay.
That's why I said
unless you banked it, remember?
Yeah,
you could have banked it.
Ah, right.
If there was stuff you wanted to buy it.
I bought a large variety of amulets.
Yeah.
2 throwing darts, and then I just took off 3 or 4 silver and put tact next to it for getting ready to have the well prepared thing. Just buying tact.
Yeah. So basically, you always start your next adventure with your basic income if you started that, because you end up spending it all basically.
Okay.
So if there was stuff you wanted to buy, we can just assume that you bought stuff at the end of the last adventure.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll pick it up, have a read through the rule book, see what it's by, and we'll move on once.
Yeah, it's fine. So basically, the way they explain it is that as an adventurer, you get your money and then just like, way! But what you do is up to you.
How you get though?
Yeah, but you might want to like invest it in something. So, if you're, you might want to be getting like armor and stuff for like your mercenary unit, or putting it towards hiring people and stuff like that. So how you spend your money is up to you.
How much is a horse?
Pardon?
How much is a horse?
A horse?
That's a dragon.
A dragon's slightly cheaper than a horse, which is weird.
All right, 2 dragons.
Okay, it's about 2/3 the price of a horse.
Okay, 6 dragons.
Okay, that's quite a lot.
So
of dragons.
whereabouts are we looking for the money? Sorry.
It's on your it's near the start actually. I think it's 2d10 for your 2 silver, aren't you?
Yeah. Okay. It's 2D. Yep. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, 2d10 shillings.
3. So I think I'm just 1d10, aren't I?
Brass 3 might be 3d10 brass though.
Oh, 2d10 brass pennies.
Yeah, there you go. 2d10 brass pennies. I think you're 1d10 silver.
1d10 silver for silver, yeah.
Yeah, you're 1d10.
It's silver. Is it silver 1 is 1d10 silver and silver 2?
Yeah, earned per standing. So silver 1 is 1d10.
Yeah,
so I'm brass 1 or whatever, and the lowest brass.
Basically, you get all your money, and it's probably the most amount of money you've ever had in one go, and just decide to go absolutely chicken on it.
Yeah, well, I thought if I a weapon, I could maybe actually use.
Sorry, you both spoke there.
Gumball.
No, you go.
Do you get plus what you do for your job, your career thing?
So that is you getting your income.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, so between adventures, you can like do downtime investigation stuff like that, or you could do your income. So you could just do like income if you wanted to, and just work loads and start off with loads of money at the start.
And you get 3D10 as opposed to
yeah. I don't think money is going to be a massive like driver in every scene. So if it comes,
I might want to set up a merchant stall as my
long-term goal, have a spoon shop. They're really nice spoons though. They're like proper top of the line.
Yeah, silver spoons.
They are just spoons though. Still spoons, but they're like yes, so you have your letter from Cockalowhaven, your little halfling friend that you've met.
How much was a horse?
Oh, I didn't look for a horse.
Is a gold 20 silver?
A gold is 20 silvers.
Well, I've not got enough then.
Yeah, a horse is probably quite expensive.
Shields are expensive.
It's weird, isn't it? The price of cost. But then when you realise that, like, that's why kitting out armies and stuff is super expensive.
I basically think the GM's not giving us enough cash on this adventure.
Yeah? Well, all your money was fake.
Oh.
It's little halfling poison money.
Little IOU notes.
Yeah, little like it was chocolate coins, mate.
I'm gonna buy loads of knuckle dusters. Go fucking into.
You could buy like a
one on each knuckle.
Like a you bought a buckler, I think, didn't you, Mark?
I did previously, yeah.
Yeah, the buckler was like Jerry. I'm gonna look
to be fair, I couldn't really afford a single throwing knife. It was so expensive, so I had to buy darts.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that.
You might as just sharpen your pennies.
Just buzzing like a football match, buzzing sharpened pennies at people. I mean, see, I'm up for that. It's fine. Like Nehemiah goes from being this mystic traveller to football hooligan.
Hooligan, yeah. Nice.
I'm not having it.
Quite rabble rousing.
Is that it? Right, Glenn.
He's standing and go, referee!
Just shouting at anyone. Doesn't know what he's shouting at. He just knows that he's here shouting. Right, there you go, Mark. I'm looking at things now. You can buy a
repeater pistol.
You can buy a repeater pistol. You can buy a that's stuff. You can buy some bracers. That sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Excellent.
Why is it the only thing we can afford to armor?
You can buy a barrel if you want. It's 8 silver. You can roll the barrel around.
Excellent.
You can roll your barrel around. You can buy some shoes. They're 5.
How much is that like though?
You can buy a book. Animals and vehicles. There we go. Okay, so a cart is 20 gold. That's quite a lot, isn't it? A draft horse is 4 gold.
Right.
A riding horse is 15 gold.
15 gold. Right. If we're in trouble, we're just going to sell Tom's horse.
However, you can buy homing pigeons for 3 silver. So if you work out how many pigeons it would take to carry you around.
Well, you can get more than 90 pigeons for the same cost as the.
Yeah.
Well, I finished last game with like 33 silver, so I could get 3 silver a pigeon.
3 silver a pigeon. It's only 11 pigeons. It's not enough, is it?
I mean,
start now.
They can help
Start.
like
Hold on.
This long leaping jumps into combat.
11 pigeons.
Surely buying pigeons is like a complete con. As soon as you kind of let them go with a message, they're just going to fly back to the guy who sold you. Who sold you them, and he's going to sell them on to the next one.
He's got one pigeon, and no one knows how he stays in business. You could buy you can buy 6 worms for 1 brass if you want.
Something I can finally afford.
Tattoos 4 silver. I'm getting 9 tattoos.
Is he just getting his hands done? He like gets across his knuckles. Then he's got 1 more, so he gets one on his thumb. Just buy what you need to. Right? You can't afford a horse. Basically, if you want a horse, start off with one. Otherwise, it's prohibitively expensive. or steal a horse.
Yeah, that might be.
Yeah.
That might be the way you're doing it.
It's
Steal a
how I
horse.
got a sword.
Still top
Yeah.
course.
Some looks. I mean, he's not going to see you doing it, is he? He can't roll perception.
How did they decide?
Just paint a stripe on it. Go completely different horse, mate.
Different horse, mate.
How do they decide what goes into these tables of things you can buy? Right.
I know.
Do they just go right? Let's get the top 40 most common items that adventurers would have used. Like, yeah, okay, barrel, yeah, cool, healing kit, yeah, gavel, tweezers.
Worm.
Yeah.
Six worms.
Ah, do you know what? I'm glad there's a price for a rake because I was going to clean up all the fucking leaves.
So what's your short-term goal? Get this garden finished.
Well, it's fucking autumn, isn't it?
Oh God, Scarlett, these sorting out this really.
A fucking rake. A mop. Well, I'm buying 32 mops.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, encumbrance 64 now. I'm probably fucked. Yes.
Oh, you got two. Oh, Moppy. Don't worry, I'll clean it up.
Yeah, mate. Barrow like that other guy crashing into people.
the river's overflowed, didn't it? You might be able to earn a few quid like mopping it up. You can buy just some shoes. Oh my God, this has been the best part of the game. Should we just not play the game and just work out stuff we could buy and how we apply?
Right, what's the D?
Can I buy?
D is a brass, weirdly.
Okay. Chicken's only 5D, mate. You can get loads of chickens.
They're not going to fly away when you let them go.
Yeah.
Unlike a homing pigeon.
And, you can train animals, weirdly, so you could train them to be like war chickens. Take you some time, but...
Oh, monkeys.
Bit of an investment, isn't it?
In second D&D, a chicken could kill a mage quite easily.
That is true, actually, yeah. I don't know if it really goes with the sort of grim, dark, like, sort of fantasy setting that I was going for.
Violent chickens
demonic
quite
chicken?
Grim.
Take
Yeah.
that, Cohen!
Oh, that's what it's for dogs.
Dead chickens, mate.
It's when you realise that these like 30 chickens you bought, one day they'll just like warp into one great like what's it, the Lord of Change? Well, that was a good half an hour on shopping.
Yep. Hope the audience enjoyed that.
Shopping in which we didn't buy anything. I'm just browsing, mate. Just browsing.
Yeah, you're right there. Just having a look, mate.
Yeah, I'm just browsing. These mops got a good weight. Right. You've got a letter.
Okay.
Let's have a breakfast chat about rakes and ridiculous prices.
The letter probably cost him about 2 gold to send. Right. You'll receive your letter. It's asking you to go to the old Cockerlow Haven. And he's asked you to go over there this afternoon.
Right, okay.
I thought it was tomorrow.
You
We've
got it late.
slept since then.
Wasted about the shops.
Yeah, you've been at the shop today. You lost the job opportunity, mate. Yeah, you got the letter last night. It's asked. We're now in the next morning. He's got.
You did need to explain tomorrow to people.
I did have to explain tomorrow to you, weirdly. All right, tomorrow. What's tomorrow? So yes, you have your letter. He wants you to go and see him. What is now today? at lunchtime. It's fairly
Got
easy.
some mops, little man.
Got a good line in Mops. This is the stupidest session we've done.
It's not fucking
I feel like the heat's got to us.
Let's go see the jolly violent halfling.
Yeah. So what you do? It's the morning. Do some role play.
I'm still at the shops.
Wonder what he wants for us.
You've not done anything.
I've not done anything stupid. Why have you done anything stupid? Like gardening?
No.
You wouldn't do gardening with a mop.
I'd take that right back. Just didn't like.
Just mop it up. Remember, he did say that he would contact you in a few weeks. This isn't totally out of the blue.
I wonder if it will get us out of the city. I'm a bit bored of here now.
Down. So, are you?
Right,
still,
yeah. Yes, let's go see Cocker then.
What's the plan? I feel like
Go together.
No, we'll go one by one. We'll do the same 5 times, and we'll see how it plays out. Oh, iPad didn't like that. Okay. My notes are really extensive here, so you go back to where the warehouse. The river is not flooded. It's been a few weeks. The river's sort of not flooded anymore. It's a river that floods regularly. It does have a term for it. I can't remember what it's called. It might be Bracing River or something. But it's currently down at the moment. And you make your way to the warehouses where they are. There's not as much. It was quite busy last time you were here. There's not as much going on now. It's actually fairly quiet. You can still see the guards around, but there's no one from. It looks like the out of town. There's no one sort of loading stuff on today. If anything, there's a couple fewer guards than there were before. But they notice you approaching, and one of them waves you over to Cocker's office, and he's like, "Oh, Mr. Cocker's expecting you. Then I'll take you through." And he's a good. He's a local boy, and he takes you through to Cocker's office. And Cocker's in there, and as you approach, the same guard, she's sitting on the door. She gives you a little wink, Paul. But she's still carrying a massive blunderbuss and looks a bit kind of grumpily at you.
Mm-hmm.
But lets you in. Obviously, you're expected. As you sort of see through, Cocker's sort of, you see stuff like flying out from around his desk, like he's rummaging. You can hear him rummaging around, or you presume it's him rummaging around as stuff goes sort of flying around his desk. And he doesn't look up at the moment. And you just see little bits of like paper and stuff kind of flying around. Generic curios bits.
Give him a good check.
And he sort of, he looks up and, you're right, lads. This is his accent, by the way. I've decided he's got this accent.
No.
It's not offensive, I don't think.
Good halfing accent, mate.
I think it's all right. Yeah, I think it's okay. He's it's good to see you again. He comes around the table. He only comes up to like your waist basically, but he puts his little chubby halfling hand up. He sort of gives you a little halfling handshake. Quite friendly.
Oh.
You do notice that he's got at his side like a meat cleaver basically, which does look quite well used. And not particularly clean. Like it's obviously been used on something very recently. So it's it's still a bit bloody. And he's like, good to see you again, lad. Oh, take a seat. And there's no human sized seats again, and the only ones there are only 2 of them. But he goes round to his like his little box for things.
I try to take a seat where there's like papers that he's thrown down, and I kind of clear them up by having a quick glance at them as I sit down. Yeah.
A lot of it is just like sort of like ledgers and stuff, really, of stuff that he knows that's coming in and out. Mm-hmm. They look quite, they would have to have sort of they are obviously running as official businessmen. Mm-hmm. Roll a perception check, I guess.
Nice. Dice can be useful.
Yeah, the dice are good.
Wait, is that we're all making a perception test?
No, because Paul's just gone
down.
Yeah, he sat down to kind of look into the.
I have 2 degrees of failure.
A failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just know it just looks like ledger stuff. In fact, you can't read, can you?
No, I can't actually.
No.
Good point. I'm looking to see if there's pretty pictures.
Yeah, there's certainly no pictures that you recognise.
Just a bank robbery planned out in stick figures.
Yeah, that sort of thing. That'd be exciting.
There's some yeah, it just looks to you, it just looks like a bunch of it's the equivalent of Excel sheets, mate, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's nothing particularly interesting there. And he sort of invites the rest of you to sit down.
Bert loves Excel.
But loves Excel though. And he goes, "Oh, I see you've been keeping yourselves busy, haven't you?" And he sort of
got to earn a living, haven't we?
yeah, and he looks at you all, but he gives you a bit of like a stern eye mark. But he doesn't like not for like a really long time. But he's clearly got something to say.
Yeah. Oddly enough, the criminal giving the thief taker a bit of an eyeball.
Yeah, he gives you all a bit of an eye. He goes, "But you've been keeping yourselves out of trouble, haven't you? I heard you did a bit of work for old Wallenstein as well." He looks at
sweet.
And rolled. He gives you a little nod. He looks at anything interesting when he's out there, lads? This is to roll. He's looking.
Goblins.
And he goes, "Oh, horrible little things, goblins. Too small for my liking." And he like spits on the ground. And then he looks.
To be fair, but
You what?
didn't see that many.
No, old Papa Wallenstein keeps them out normally. He looks to Nehemiah and goes, "Yeah, you've been riling up a little bit with the locals."
I've just been making friends with people at my station.
Oh, yeah, always useful, isn't it? Always useful to have plenty of friends, especially in a town like this.
Exactly. You wouldn't want to cross the wrong person accidentally, would you?
No, you definitely don't want to. And he looks. There you go. Anyway, we can't talk pleasantries all day, lads, can we? I've got a bit of a job for you. And he pulls out he sort of rummages back down these little things, and he pulls out a little note. And he's like, "Yeah, old we got word of a little delivery coming in to someone in the city. We don't know exactly who, and we don't know exactly where from. All we know roughly is where it's going to be. I want you to basically go and find it, find out where it's going, find out what's in it, and find out who's thinking they can get stuff in without talking to us."
Okay. So you don't want us to take it. Okay.
Well, there's some of it you can have. We know that there's some sort of box that sounds important in it. That's what we've heard from and he rubs his eyes. Not great scouts out there. But there's some sort of metal box that seems to be what they're actually transporting. The rest around it just seems to be stuff, which you can have if you want. That's yours. You can sell it or do what you want with it. I just want to know where this is going to, how it's getting in without us knowing about it, or which way they're bringing it in, and who it's going to.
So you don't want us to stop it. You just want to know how it's getting in and how it's getting out, and who's who.
I mean, ideally stop it, because then you can take the stuff.
So
we want it to go to the place it's meant to go. But we want to be the ones who take it there, not whoever it is.
Which is why you need to find out where it's meant to be going.
That's not a hand, is it?
A hand?
Not another one, is it?
I've no idea. We've not had much call from. He looks like he's about to say a name, and he not for a couple of weeks. They're weird sorts, though, aren't they, wizards? And he's like, anyway. So, are you lot all right with that? There could be a bit of knife work involved. I don't really care if the people who are transporting it make it back, quite frankly. All we know is that it's going to be, and he gets out a little map. And the person who showed me this So they usually stop their little ferry, and he gets your little map out. He goes, about here along the river. And looking at it, it's probably about a day and a half outside of town, maybe.
Could I do a little Reichland law
Yes.
test?
Get some more Lilos.
Oh, I don't think I passed, so I don't know the location.
I did not pass either. I'm like,
Yeah.
squiggles on paper.
Yeah, if anyone wants to do a Reichland law,
I don't think I can. Battle term.
it doesn't appear to be a particularly. There's nothing of note on the area, and
No,
indeed,
I don't know the location. Okay.
I did
indeed,
pass by 1 degree.
okay. Again, actually, Mark, you might know from your just from your background, basically from like thief taking and stuff. That often there are like little bits of the river that are like the trees are quite thick around the river, so they often will make camp there and stuff. 'Cause it's easy to hide stuff. You can often, if you've got a small ferry, you can like drag it up onto the side and hide it away. So it's, while it's probably not a known area, it's probably somewhere where, like, if you were trying to smuggle a ferry, you could actually take it out the water for a little bit, hide it, camp for the night or something like that.
Cool.
Generally, they would be expected to be there. So it's something like that.
Cool.
And he just says, yeah, there's probably going to be a bit of knife work involved, so be careful. They're very unlikely to give it up. But this is going to get you in good with old Aloysius if you get this. And there's probably going to be some bigger work coming your way if you can stomach it.
All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
So as I said, there's no coin for this one. You get whatever's left of the thing. We want to know what's in that box. How's that?
Have you got someone we can
Sounds
store
fair.
if you can't sell immediately?
And he opens his arms up.
Thank you.
For my boys, I'll look after anything you want. Very small fee, obviously, handling, but very small because we're friends. And you see there's like, around the warehouse, you've seen loads of crates and stuff. Like, there's obviously plenty of storage here for stuff that you can't.
There's more. Can we use it?
Yeah.
When's it due then?
The word we got is that it's going to be there in about 2 days' time.
Be square.
No, it's a day and a half to get there.
It'd be a day and a half on foot to get there.
Gives us time to scout out the area and
Yeah.
Okay.
What about by Lilo?
By Lilo, is it a jet? Is it a jet Lilo or just a standard Lilo? Standard Lilos. You'd be going up river, so you'd have to really paddle. Like it's not going to be efficient.
There's no roads in the area from the map we have.
There'd be roads that go near that, but the area that he marks on the map is actually along the river. So you could probably get a road that goes maybe half a day out of town. But then the way you would have to go there would be roughly a day's. There might be smaller roads, but no main roads, basically.
It'd be pretty easy along the river.
Or I mean that.
Lava.
So any questions, lads? Anything you want to go over?
Seems straightforward.
All right. Well, just make sure we want to know who it's going to, who thinks they can smuggle stuff in, and what it is, ideally. Other than that, I don't give a shit. And don't get caught. And if you do, it didn't come from us.
Standard.
Good. And he stands up on his chair. He leans over. Anyone who's near enough, he gives you his little chubby halfling handshake, which is weird because it would be like shaking hands with a fat child.
I'm actually just like gripped like 2 fingers and just
There's little like when you get a baby to hold your finger. He just does that.
I wrap my hand all the way around his, just completely enveloping it.
He just quite likes it. He's all right with it. It's not weird for him.
Softer as well.
Yeah, it's nice. And he goes, right, well, if you need anything, now's the time to ask. But as long as you've got all the stuff, then better make your way.
I need a mop, dear.
Oh, mop! I tried to buy one this week, but someone had bought them all. Someone had bought up all the mops.
It's a shame if someone spilt this junk.
Bert's become a travelling salesman. He goes, right, well, you better be off then, because you don't want to keep old Aloysius not waiting.
Have you heard that name before, Aloysius?
Aloysius, yeah, he mentioned it. It's the other half. It's the head of the family, basically.
Family of cunts.
Yeah, it's the head of the family, and he. Yeah, well, that's what you know. Is the head of the family.
Right.
You have only others. You've seen one other halfling who is the one you saw taking the stuff off the boat, or sorry, loading stuff. So you've seen that. But as far as you know, he's the head of the family. Okay. You do your thing. Plan what you want to do.
Are we going to head out this evening or tomorrow morning?
It's the afternoon now.
So we could head out.
Let's get going, I think.
I suppose so. On the way out, I said to the guard, I'll see you when I'm back.
And she gives you a little nod. It's one of the few people that's actually has sort of shown an interest in your attractive trait, clearly.
There you go.
But yeah, she gives you a little nod, and she don't come back dead.
All right.
She's got a little bit of the same accent as the halfling, weirdly. Maybe she's been hanging around with halflings. Yeah, she's been hanging around with halflings too long. Okay, so what's your plan? What would you like to? How are you going about this?
I think we should head down to the docks, see if we can hire ourselves a boatman to take us to this location. Get there as quickly as we can. Scout out the area and set up a camp nearby. Wait for them to arrive.
It sounds like the easiest way to go. If not, then leave straight the way. Just make sure we've got there in plenty of time.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Either way, we need to go and pick up our stuff from the inn. And put whatever you needed in storage.
I'll put my horse. No, well, I'll take the horse down to the docks with us.
It's a sea horse. It's fun. So, sorry, what are you folks doing? You're
going to the docks to get a boat.
Okay. So yeah, you see that this actually there's quite a lot of. There's several smaller, like it's not obviously because it's on a river. There's quite a few like sort of smaller little places for your boat, and you can ask around to see if you can get a boat that will take you down to the
boat.
Yeah, if you want to use a boat, that'll actually probably get you there quicker. So that'll if you go directly by boat. I'm
going to suggest to the party that maybe it's not the best idea to get ourselves seen going to the area where we might end up knifing some people.
Yeah,
it might be a better idea for us to take the longer route and not to involve other people.
You're saying if you were investigating it, that this would give us away straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose that is valid.
We could split the party. 2 of us go by boat, 2 of us go by the way.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just going to take my Lilo, lads. I'll see you there when you get there.
It's going to do a full like route lap of the lazy river and just come around the other way.
Yeah.
If you want, do you want to try and find a boat that's going upriver?
I think it's a valid point that was really obvious that we went there then.
To the boatman?
Well, okay, that's
Get dropped off nearby, maybe.
Or drop the boatman off nearby. Free boat.
I mean, can any of you sail? Could we hire a boat and not a boatman?
For a boat.
Not the Norfolk Broads.
I don't know. I've never been to a city this size before.
You could probably.
What about Pedalo?
Yeah, exactly. You could get there by Pedalo.
Pedalo up the river.
Yeah, I guess you could maybe hire a boat that would take. You could probably hire like a rowboat.
One pedalo.
One pedalo that you could all get in, but you certainly wouldn't. I don't think you can hire a boat that would get a horse in.
It was a seahorse.
Oh, fine. Right, I'm gonna go ride there. I am gonna ride out of town and.
So you got a 15 gold horse. You might as well use it.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride there. Anybody want to come with me?
Roll. Why don't you just do this? We'll meet you back here.
I'll meet you there. Yeah.
I mean, someone could ride with him.
Yeah, I'm not planning on going via telling someone where I'm going. So yeah, I'll go with.
Yeah,
I'll go with. Horses we saved.
Well, they belong to the coachman.
Told you we should let him die.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a horse there.
You did have the opportunity to have 4 horses. Yeah. But yeah, they're part of Coach and Sons.
No, well, you're welcome, Coach and Son. All right, I'll walk.
Let's walk there and then, maybe steal some horses on the way.
Horse thieves, eh? So no one's getting a boat now.
No.
Right,
Not
okay.
even the Lilo.
So the guy, you go to the boat, he's like, he looks at these guys, aren't even, they're not even interested in a boat. Got
all the life jackets ready. He's ready.
He's got ready, and he can see that you're just like, you're just browsing.
Browsing, mate.
You're just browsing.
You want them off?
Safety brief.
He's getting ready. Oh, yeah. Oh, customers got. Oh.
I don't want to get on one. I just like looking at them.
Just kick the side a little bit.
Waited half a day, go out the door.
Get a stick of rock.
Fuck you. Never going to get them with these mops.
Maybe you can lash with the mops together and turn them into like a raft. Let's do a little craft check. Okay.
Well, getting worm powered.
Well, it's pretty good. Let's sea worms. Okay. So you're all walking. None of you have any like outdoor survival stuff, do you? I mean, actual gear. Like,
no, I bought a crowbar and a hammer and a bag.
Okay.
For my life of crime.
No.
It might be worth maybe seeing if you can buy some stuff like that. I mean, it's up to you, but
bed.
We need to go more tent browsing.
Yeah, what we got?
Tent. You can. Yeah. I didn't see tent. You can buy a gavel.
You can buy a quill pen. Yeah, maybe.
Actually, tools and kits, books and documents.
There is no like outside stuff. Oh, is it under like miscellaneous?
It's this camping trip essential to
tent.
our
12 silver.
adventure.
Okay, a tent is 12 silver. Yeah, tinderbox is 4.
This fucking page.
A canvas tarp is 8.
There's no point in going, lads. The GM's being a right pernickety fuck about all the equipment we've got with us.
Well, no, you can go.
Just stay in town.
You can go. I'm just saying, if you don't have, stuff out there, it'll be harder to not. It's quite nice. The weather's nice. It's fine. So do you want to just head out?
Maybe we should buy at least a tarp for over us.
Someone want to go halfers on a tent.
I would love to.
I'll go half on a tent. Yeah.
6. Now I own half a tent.
Okay.
Where you two go to sleep.
It's quite a cheap tent, 12 quid. It's nice.
Is it one of the pop-up ones? Is it?
Yeah, it's probably. Yeah, it's from the the school of engineers have like created pop-up. They're bored of doing mechanical horses and blunderbusses that fire 100 times. They're now just doing pop-up tents.
An agility
The
check
army
at
on the
minus
move.
20 every morning to pack it.
Oh yeah, packing it up. You need to be an engineer class to actually pack them up.
It's a year and it takes 5 hours to put up.
Just buy a new one. Just buy a new one.
Just the homemade.
Okay, so how are you heading out? Are you heading directly along the river? Are you going along one of the roads?
I'd suggest using the road and then cutting into that point. Hope by.
Because then it looks like we're doing something more legit, and it's probably easier to travel for a little while.
Probably also easier to get lost.
Some of you have.
I'm sure we'll be fine. I've never needed one of those bits of paper with squiggles on. We'll be fine.
About 400 gold. What do you think I came over Mops?
Yeah, is there like navigation as a skill or something? Part of outdoor survival. That should be fine.
Right. We off?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay, fine.
comes on his horse, not noticing anything, the rest of us are walking.
So you make your way out. So you go along the road, and then cutting across along the main road for a bit, and then cutting across the river. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, great.
Who is kind of leading the way in terms of you ride out, you get across the main road, and it's fairly, it's uneventful. It's the middle of the day basically. So, when you go to sort of cut across the right, does someone want to do an outdoor survival check? I guess.
Ooh.
Yeah, go on then.
Hi, guys.
Other people.
Oh,
can...
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I
Anyway,
succeed with 2 degrees.
Oh, then that's fine. Yeah. So you, after your appalling couple of weeks before, you've been brushing up on your outdoor survival, and you can pretty much having rode out, you can work out the way that it would be to take you towards the river, and certainly with that, 2 degrees of success.
Mm-hmm.
With that roll, you can you're fairly sure that you can take yourselves probably to where like almost the exact point of where you want to go to basically. So it's probably you've ridden about half a day out. It's probably about a day across now, so you're looking it's probably coming towards night time now, or it's sort of 7 or 8 o'clock at night. Do you want to camp here? Do you want to push on a little bit? It's going to take you about a day to get the rest of the way.
How much time does that leave us?
That'll leave you. Assuming you don't get lost, basically, it would take you about half a day. It would leave you about half a day. Sorry.
I'm just pushing on a little bit further.
Yeah. Roll another survival check, just to kind of.
Is this plus 20?
This is just because it's getting dark now. Just be a standard one.
Okay.
So plus 0.
No, it didn't pass, but not a critical fail.
Okay, cool. Tom, do you want to do one as well?
I also do not pass, but don't fail.
So yeah, you sort of start heading out a little bit, but probably realise it's actually getting a little bit too dark to, you can probably, the way you're going to because of your earlier roll, Tom. But if you was to keep travelling now, you might lose the way a little bit, so it's probably worth camping down.
Sensible, very sensible.
Yeah.
Let's find somewhere reasonably safe and not just stop.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few clearings. You're on some of the smaller roads. If you want to try and sort of disguise your shelter a little bit, I guess do a stealth check or something. If the person who's doing it and someone else can help them and get plus 10, basically. So if you want to try and like put your tent up and then disguise it a little bit, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll help out.
Yep.
I'll do it. I feel like then I'm helping.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Did you say plus 10?
Yeah, you'll get it's a standard check and then plus 10 on top.
So I passed.
Okay. So yeah, how are you going about? How are you hiding your tent? What's Nehemiah doing?
So I'm suggesting we put it up near a bit kind of like canopy of trees, and then I'm using from my tat like some string to start pulling them down, kind of on the tent, and start bringing it kind of like it's covering over the tent to make it a little bit less obvious.
Nice. Okay, so you spend a bit of time. It's now pretty dark. Let's assume you've got some stuff you had some food with you. So what are you doing in the night? Are you just all going to sleep? Are you setting up
probably have a watch, because the last time we didn't have a watch, that massive wolf thing appeared. And I didn't like it.
Yeah, I think one of us having watch is a good idea.
We should draw straws for the first watch.
Okay, yes, let's draw straws for order.
I can't draw a straw, mate, but I could draw a fucking mean cat. Screw it.
Just roll a dice, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
I got a 5.
I got a 3.
I got a 10. Kiss my chuddies.
No watch for Bert.
You can watch me sleep.
A 3 for me.
First watch for Mark.
Looks like helmets on first watch.
Yeah, that's right. That's better than having it like right in the middle.
Yeah. No one wants that 12 o'clock monster slot delay.
No watch. That's watch.
Okay. In the night, roll a perception check, Mark.
Basic perception.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night.
And you're
Passed by, passed. No degrees, but passed.
Just a standard pass. Okay.
Yeah.
You hear some howls in the night. I mean, you're in a Reichland forest. That's not particularly unusual. You do at some point in the night. Maybe it's you're just jumpy, or maybe you do see it. You're fairly sure you see a couple of figures that are going towards sort of. They're not particularly near you, but they look like they're heading towards the sort of way you've come from. It's quite dark. You can try and investigate if you want to, but they're trying to stick to the trees a little bit. But you can't.
Heading towards where we've come from, so heading in the opposite direction to us.
Where you've come from, yeah, the opposite. Yes, so as if you were going back to the main road from where you've just been.
Yeah, so going from the river to the road, we're going from the road to the river.
That's correct. Yeah.
In which case, no, I'm just going to let them pass.
Yeah, they don't appear to have seen you. They kind of make their way through. But there's certainly a couple of figures that in the night, which is potentially unusual. People don't tend to travel the road at night, but they don't seem to be making any trouble. That's the first watch.
Cool.
Mr. Who's got the second one? Is it rolled?
Hey.
I think I was the middle one. I got a 5.
I'll pass
I
on.
also got 3 as well.
So there were some people skulking about.
Okay. So Nehemiah, then make a perception check, please.
Oh, 4 degrees of success.
Okay. So that's 4 degrees under your perception.
Yeah, I rolled 6, so my perception is 4.
Yeah. So you obviously after having helmets giving you a bit of a heads up as to what's going on, and he said he saw a couple of figures. You're obviously pretty alert in the night. You also see just a lone figure actually, who is heading towards the town. You do get a feel from them though, as you kind of, for some reason, your sight is better in the night, and they are very clearly not human. No. They are not entirely human, in fact, as well. It is another mutant that you see going through the town, or going towards the road, sorry. They have 3 eyes, which is maybe the reason you spot them is because the reflection comes off one of their eyes. Okay. They're quite far away, but they are heading towards, just on their own. One of their arms is like a lot bigger than the other one and kind of drags along the floor. but again, they don't seem to have seen where you are. You've made quite a good job of covering up your thing, but they are heading back towards the sort of main road. Not directly along the road though. They're kind of going through the forest. You just happen to sort of spot a shaft of moonlight reflects, basically. Yeah.
No, I'm not messing with that shit.
Yeah, they don't. Like I said, they don't seem to have made out your thing. But for the next couple of hours, you don't really see anything.
Okay.
So it's now what? Let's say it's 10, 12, 2. It's probably 2 in the morning now.
Time out.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Roll, do you want to amusingly do a perception check?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I let her
Oh,
know
yeah.
what I saw.
Oh, it's asleep.
Then I do a little prayer to the group.
I don't. I fail.
Of course you do.
Just fail. No.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
an improvement for you, though.
That is a
He-
just one. Yeah.
he spots it's night time.
1 degree of failure. So I don't see the darkness.
You don't see anything in the night.
There's nothing here, guys. There's nothing here. It's okay.
And nothing comes. There's nothing rumbles a tent. But you have been told there is at least 3 mutants out in the forest. I mean, that's not the forests of the Reichland do have them in, but on your watch you don't see anything. And finally, Big Bert.
Get up, crack a dawn. What do you want? What do you want from me?
It's getting light now, so you can do a perception at +20.
Right, that is an 8 and +20. Loads, fucking loads. Perception's 23, not that loads.
Okay.
3 degrees.
Okay, 3 degrees. So
Your perception's 23.
I mean, like mine's 32, and I failed. Goodness knows how much.
but narratively, yours is 12, Tom.
Yes.
I don't think I failed a perception test either, so that's efficiency.
You see again another lone figure. And actually, how much did you pass by?
3 degrees.
3 degrees. You actually see a small group of figures. It looks like, again, humanoid, but as you spot them in the distance, they look to be mutated as well. You can see they've got like misshapen limbs. One of them's got like one foot that's actually a hoof, and the other that's just a foot. They are you're a small band of. They look quite scrawny and kind of presumably haven't eaten for a while. They don't look well, but they kind of make them shuffling through, and they stop for a bit, and they look around, and they look over towards where your tent is, and where you are. And one of them's sort of sniffing the air, but then they snatch down and grab a rabbit that's just go to run past, and they all just kind of horribly tuck into this like rabbit and start tearing it apart, basically, and then sort of shuffle off. They actually go deeper into the forest. They still go towards the road, but they go deeper into the forest. So it's obviously they're trying to get off the road now, probably because the sun's coming up or something. But again, they don't see you because they rolled badly.
Freaks.
I mean, if you want to call for them, you can.
Yeah, my fucking many freaks.
Do you want to alert them? Okay.
I do, but no.
It's totally up to you. And that is the night cycle. That is your lovely night cycle. I would suggest having a chat about it.
I didn't see anything in the night.
Oh, yeah.
I don't believe you saw anything.
I definitely saw a 3-eyed, massive. I think he was single because he had one massive arm.
What's going on about this side of it?
That's
In lockdown.
Yeah. I mean, looking like that, I can understand why that would happen. That is a lot of mutants in one place, isn't it? I'm not going crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty rare.
Maybe they've formed a nice little mutant community.
Then it kind of behooves us to go and burn it down. We should do that.
I'm slightly concerned that there's a lot of mutants running around when there's a temple to Shalia that's taking in mutants.
I think she's taking in to heal them. Maybe they're heading that way, or maybe I don't know.
Or maybe the temple's not destroying them as they should, and you're just letting them go.
No, I don't believe that of the priestess.
Why not?
No, I got the feeling she was genuinely trying to help.
I think she's genuinely too nice, so she can't do what needs to be done.
It would be a good way to get on the good side of the town. And they looked malnourished, so I don't think it'd be that hard.
I think we've got a while to talk this through because we're on the clock for this job and we've got to come back to this one.
Yeah,
that is true. We should press on, get to this site as early as possible.
Yeah, or do watches normally and sort of town watches and whatnot normally pay like a bounty for mutants brought in?
Yeah, there'd generally be a small. I think there would be a standard bounty probably of like
bringing a mutant here or something like that.
Yeah, bringing like half a shilling or something. Yeah. And it's probably the same for like goblins as well. You might get like half a shilling for a goblin head, half a shilling for a mutant head, beastman head, stuff like that.
Cool. Yep.
I think that's
that
fair.
Sounds like short-term profit compared to long-term gain we might be getting from this job.
No, let's do the job.
I'm not saying fuck off this job. I'm just a little icing on the cake.
Well, we may be overloaded with stock once we've done this job. We may have a boat once we've done this job.
Right. Yeah.
Because he only wants the box. He didn't say we couldn't keep the boat.
He said we can keep it all. Let's do the job.
The box.
Get the boat, fill it with heads, sail back to town.
Become pirates. Yeah.
That is very true. He did say that.
Boat.
Let's turn it into one of the booze cruise boats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm really glad I hid the tent now.
I thought we were going to be good guys when this campaign started. We were
So
awesome.
did I. It's gone out the window, isn't it?
You that did it.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever accepted the original deal with the halflings, you knew they were halfling criminals. You didn't tell us when we said yes. Ultimately, this is your fault.
I said there were criminals.
And you set us down the...
you said yes and bargained the price.
You are the mutant friend.
You said yes after you bargained the price. You knew we were working for halfling criminals. I did not know we were working for mutant friends. So
You're the mutant friends.
I don't have any mutant friends. I've not got to met them yet.
That baby's your mutant friend. Should have left that in the forest.
And we wouldn't have got paid. Then we wouldn't be like having more work for
And Bert will have all his mops.
Exactly.
That is true, actually.
Rate business.
What do you think of the mops?
You wouldn't have got that lovely buckler.
No, I've got that before. I got that with the half we got before. Which again, we got the good money we got because of my negotiation skills.
Very nice
For
negotiation.
a criminal.
But I think we should carry on hiding the tent at night because mutants.
Yeah. Okay, so should we break camp and make a move to this landing spot?
This yurt takes 6 hours to put down.
Yeah, especially at the end of the event when you just can't be on.
Yeah,
Where's Woody?
Yeah, Woody turns up and he just takes down about 30 seconds and goes off. A little dwarf turns up out of the forest, smashes it down in about 10 minutes while you all look on confused, and then goes jogging off because he's only on the first half of his 10k.
Sometimes other people turn up and they have conversations about the best way to take a tent.
I do know that Woody does watch all of these as well because he messages me, so that would be nice for him.
Love you, Woody.
Okay, so yeah, you break down the camp. One thing we completely forgot about as well is you've now got your two little hirelings.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was going to bring that up. But...
Yeah, the people that kind of, I think for now.
Oh, yeah.
I think for now they're just sort of doing stuff around town.
Yeah.
But they're people
They're
that
selling the mops.
Who did we get? We got the 18-year-old new recruit, didn't we?
Yeah, you saved those, and you also saved one of the scouts that was in the forest, basically.
Okay, yeah.
They were the only two people that survived the thing, and you convinced them that they died in the battle.
If we just flashed our cash around and went, this is what you're giving out on the side.
So we'll presume they are doing something in town, but there will be something we can leverage for later on.
Cool.
Okay, so you push on. Rolled you know, with the roll you made earlier. Now that it's light, you know the way you're going to.
Yeah, that way.
And that way.
Do you think that the guys make him see more or better or worse? Like, surely that's going to fuck off his depth perception.
Lets him see in 3D.
That makes sense. Yeah. It's like Predator, isn't it? You've got those three little. Boop, 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 boop.
Maybe it was Predator.
Oh, no, he would have seen you, wouldn't he?
Good job he didn't attack him.
Yeah. Good job he did get him. Because they're tough. I've got the. Oh no, I think the stats for Predator is in one of the extra books. Right, it looks like a mutant, but it's Predator, the Predator.
Pell's Halloween crossover game.
It's the Predator.
That's reminding me of the Aquatine episode, The Creditor. He's about he borrows everybody from the Predator.
Now I'm tempted to fucking Google Warhammer Predator fanfic, but I know it's going to be out there. It's going to be awful.
It will be out there, and then you'll be horrified, and you won't be able to stop reading it.
There'll be terrible artwork.
It'll be porn.
Yeah, it'll be porn. It'll definitely be porn because it's something on the internet.
Yep.
Cool. Hello.
No, Tom, don't look. I don't. Right, if you.
I think.
No, it's all 40k.
I will just mute you. It's fine. Okay, so you make your way towards the where you presume is the area you need to go. As you approach, you think you've made there in good time. You certainly don't see any kind of signs of recent, like people have been there recently. But all make a perception check, please. Or one of you make one, and the rest can help. But all's funnier.
So where it's a standard check, is it a plus 20?
A standard check is plus 20.
Yeah.
If it's challenging, it's plus 0. So this is a standard check plus 20.
Oh, cheers, mate.
That's average. That will be.
Oh yes, I passed by a 1.
That's more exciting than me passing.
Okay. No. So anyone who passes, you see this is it's kind of like a clear, there's obviously like a kind of clearing to the side of the river, and there's people have made like a small ramp and stuff that goes up. You probably wouldn't see it if you weren't looking for it. But you can see where the bank sort of turns into a bit of a ramp, and you can see it's been softened out a little bit. It also looks like there's potentially an area of, maybe 40 foot off the river, maybe a little bit into the forest, maybe a little bit more. Like an area, there's like a small campfire where you could set up a campfire safely, and potentially the trees are quite thick, so it might hide it a bit better. This certainly looks like an area where people would stop. You could certainly. You didn't pass, did you, Mark?
No.
Yeah, I mean, you could certainly. This would feasibly be somewhere where you could stop your boat. You could even anyone who did anyone get more than 1 degree? 4 degrees. Yeah, you realise that there's plenty of places where you could hide stuff here. There's areas where the bushes actually aren't.
Look at this.
Yeah. There's like some of the bushes, like they look like they're really thick, but they're actually not. They're thin, and you could like store stuff underneath.
This is amazing.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a smuggler's cove, for want of better words, where you could just stop, hide stuff, get off the river for a bit, and pretty much be hidden.
Which means there's plenty of places for us to hide as well, which is quite good. Maybe not. Maybe the horse. Maybe.
I should. If we come up with a plan, I will ride maybe a half a mile away, and sit and wait for your signal if we are going to lay in wait.
Oh, you want to come charging in with a horse, like very dramatically?
Otherwise, literally, we're sitting here with a horse waiting for them to arrive.
Is it gonna be nighttime when they arrive?
No, because you would imagine it's going to be about midday. Well, you don't know exactly.
It was afternoon, and you said 2 days, didn't you?
2 days, yeah. So you would imagine it's going to be afternoon. Again, presuming they haven't already been here. It'd be shit if they'd already been here, wouldn't it? Imagine how rubbish that would be. You just wait around for a day.
I mean, that was the adventure earlier with them all walking away.
Yeah, that was them. Yeah. So yeah, you'd imagine they're going to be in the afternoon at some point.
Okay, so how do we want to play this?
Well, I'm going to hide in a bush and shoot them with my bow once they've tied their boat up.
Yeah, but we can't just kill them all because then we won't know who's employed and where they're going to.
We need one alive.
Preferably whoever's in charge. So we've got to wait a little while to see who's giving orders, and then get rid of the head. And then get rid of the chaff.
I'm going to suggest that myself and someone else set up a little camp here and pose as people that are hunting mutants in the area, because there are. Earth can hide with his bow if he wants, and then Roll drives in, says there's mutants in the area, and that's the cue to jump them.
But they might not stop if they see people. I
think that's true.
We need the element of surprise.
Okay, so we're thinking we all just hide, wait for them to tie their boat up, and then jump them.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, unless we can prep the camp in some way that means they need to spread out or something like that to make it a little bit easier on us.
I mean, my woodland skills aren't that good, so.
Okay, well, I don't have any, so I just dream things.
If you want to if you wanted to hide and stuff, you would probably get, for about the time you've got, you could probably spend some time and get fairly good roll, plus 40 basically to your hiding, because you can spend, you presumably you've got a few hours to do stuff. So if you do want to do some hiding, I'll give you bonuses to your rolls basically.
Okay, so we're going to go for the straightforward hide, jump them.
It's classic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the first one that comes off the boat, you get them, and I'll shoot the last one on the boat.
We don't know how many there are going to be at the moment, do we?
Probably more than
That's why I was hiding in reserve.
Yeah, I think
Waiting.
if they're going to drag the boat up, because the last one we want to do is be premature and then the rest just sail away.
Yeah, wait till they've tied it up, I suppose.
Yeah, because I'm looking at you because you look like you might be premature here.
Whoops.
Exactly.
Okay, shall we? Fair enough. Should we hide, or should we have the queue as when they start to light a fire? So by that point, they're going to be set up and they're going to be settling down.
Yeah, that's the thing. We want them to be more relaxed and think that there's nobody here, so that we can get the jump on them.
Well, if people are coming to meet them, and those people have more swords than us,
then we don't jump them.
And we just stay hidden, and we don't jump anybody, and we don't die.
Oh, I'm saying waiting, just waiting indefinitely until they're comfortable might not happen. I'm going to get off the boat. As soon as the boat's secure, get them.
Okay, my cue is going to be when one of them gets an arrow stuck in them, that's when we go.
Whoops.
And what do I listen out for?
Someone shot me!
I shall wait a distance away, waiting for that then.
That bush just shot me. A mop.
Is that Lilo?
Mate, see, if you'd gone for rakes instead of mops, you could have set them up as traps. Every time I tread on one, I get smashed in the face.
Missed the trick.
Uh,
Right, I'm going to hide in the bush and eventually shoot one of them. You can do what you like.
Okay. What are you doing, Mark?
I am also going to hide myself somewhere away.
Okay.
To have good visibility of the camp.
Nehemiah,
I am also hiding.
how far away? Like one turn of running close, or
Yeah, only
like a charge close? But like,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, same here.
Rolled.
I'm gonna probably go maybe a quarter of a mile away with my horse. Keep well out of the way. Make sure the horse isn't startled or makes too much noise, and then I'll charge in on the sound of I have been hit in the chest by an arrow.
How long would it take you to ride at full speed a quarter of a mile?
Oh, I don't know.
It's
Like
probably,
a couple of minutes.
Also
couple of minutes right away.
Marshy wooded terrain as well.
Stop making this overly complicated.
No. I'm just trying to like. I didn't know if that was a specific distance you wanted, or if what you actually need.
It's
You want to be narratively. You want to be a couple of turns away on a horse.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if the half a mile was like a specific thing that you had in mind.
Yes, it is precisely the amount of run up my horse needs to be able to do a 30
I don't know.
leap.
Yeah, it might be.
radius of his orbital strike.
Okay, so
Oh, no, it was just
I reckon you could probably get a couple of turns away on a horse and keep it out of sight, probably.
Good.
Okay. All right. Let's everyone roll some stealth as we prepare an ambush.
You said plus 40.
It will be plus 40, yeah, because you've got some time.
Would it not be funnier if you rolled it for us?
I can do if you want that.
Yeah,
I think that's quite funny because
I think it's funny. We
I
think
want to know how well hidden that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
It's a bit like my sense. I think I'm relying on it. I have no idea how much to
I'm going to go to stand up against a tree and put the finger in
Hang
the
your
air.
finger there. Okay, you get plus 500 to your roll. So
Oh, wow.
I've got a white tabard.
okay. What is your stealth, ads?
Mine's 49. No, 39.
So 79 with the bonuses, yeah. Okay.
That's much more fun. I think
That is,
very well
yeah.
hidden.
Mark, helmet, what's yours?
39.
So 79 as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Nehemiah.
34.
So 74. Yep. And rolled.
46.
Minus horse.
Rolled. Right. Okay. You're far away as well, so it's fine. Okay.
See, it's not very big, that's all. It's not far away. It's not very tall.
Okay. You hide up for a bit. You hide up for a bit, and a couple of hours later, in the distance, you see a small ferry coming towards. It's not big. It can probably carry, you would assume, 7 or 8 people, and would have maybe, well, you can see it's coming down. It's got 4 quite large crates on it, but that's quite tight. There's actually not much more room on it other than that, basically. And they are making their way down, coming the way down the river.
Are there 7 or 8 people on it?
There are as you see them. Do a perception check because some of it's covered. So
I got a 40, which is failed by 1 degree.
But you failed by a degree. You actually can't work out how from where you're hidden. You can't work out. I mean, everyone can make a perception check. You can all see it. Yeah, and it's going to be a standard plus 0 challenging. Sorry. Yeah.
It's going to be hard to shoot for me. I can't see fuck all.
They're still quite far out. You can't work out where they are at the moment.
Been passed.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm going to use a fate on that, mate, because
Okay.
I think it might be a good idea to have an idea. Yeah, 13. So that's a pass by 2 degrees.
Okay, so you spot them, and you spot them coming down the road, and you actually get a really good view of them. And there's 7 people there. There are 7 people on the boat. There's the boatman. There's the person who's rowing. There are then 6 others on it. They don't look massively well armed.
I'm assuming I can see it far away enough to be able to say this to the others without alerting the people on the boat?
If you want to assume that you're close, yeah, they're still quite far out actually, and you'll see that there are 6 plus a boatman basically.
Yeah.
The 6 that are presumably the guarding, for want of a better word, they're not massively well armed. A couple of spears, a couple of swords. One has a sword and a buckler, and one has a bow. That's what you can see.
Cool.
None of them wearing armor or anything. They are. You do note they are in the. With you rolled really well, didn't you? You got like +4, was it?
I got what did I roll? 13. So I got perception. 2 degrees success.
Okay, yeah. So you see all those, and you get the look of them. They're Stirlanders. You can tell by the way, they're Stirlanders. Just have a look about them. Their clothes are quite drab. You can see by their faces they're a bit paler than is normal for a sort of someone from the Empire. You just get a good view of their Stirlanders. In fact, you might even see like a sort of like not a flag, but like a little bit of colours, just something that points about. So you can tell that. So you can see them coming down. However, as you're looking towards them, one of them takes a look towards you, almost exactly where you are as well. Would you like to? No, you're okay. So they look towards you, but you're trying to peer your head round to get where you're looking. And one of them looks right at you. And he sort of looks forward, peers his eyes forwards. And then there's a little, like, a bit of a jolt in the boat, and he wobbles a little bit, and it's just enough for you to kind of like just slip back that extra inch. So they row closer, they come closer, and they pull up to what is the side of the ramp. They don't appear to have seen you.